The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park is a vast and beautiful multi-use marine protected area off the coast of Queensland, Australia. The marine park is approximately 345,000 kilometres squared and covers a large number of habitats and bioregions, including coral reefs, islands, mangrove habitats, and many more, including seagrass beds and open water habitats. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park was first established in 1975 and then rezoned in 2004 to increase the protection of critical habitats. The Great Barrier Reef is a successful protected area that has been widely studied and shown that the no-take or green zones within the park have increased the biodiversity and abundance of many marine species, such as coral trout species and other species important to the fisheries industry. No-take areas within the Great Barrier Reef have also shown to decrease crown-of-thorn sea star abundance, which in turn can increase coral abundance inside those no-take zones. Some aspects that could have resulted in the success of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park include stakeholder participation, as well as socio-ecological dimensions and contextual aspects being taken into consideration during the rezoning process. The main objectives in the rezoning of the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park was to increase the conservation of biodiversity within the park, while still allowing reasonable human activities such as tourism and fishing. As a result, biophysical, social and economic importance within the marine park was taken into consideration when the rezoning was being assessed. When the rezoning was finally implemented in 2004, compromises were made to be sure that important social and ecological aspects were considered and allowed. One important ecological aspect was the conservation of marine habitats. So as a result, the rezoning increased the no-take zones from 4.5% of the marine park to 33% of the marine park and included at least 20% of all bioregions protected. However, not all important habitats were protected. Compromises were made to allow fishing to still occur in some important fishing locations. During the rezoning of the Great Barrier Reef, stakeholders and communities were involved in the planning process. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority held stakeholder and community meetings in every major town and city along the Great Barrier Reef to allow stakeholders and community members to voice their opinions for the location of no-take areas within the marine park. As a result, a large number of changes were made to the draft zoning map to allow for important fishing or recreational areas to remain. By including the community in the planning process, the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority was able to instill greater understanding into the community and ownership of the issues, concepts, and processes involved in rezoning and within the marine park itself. The Great Barrier Reef has high economic value for the Australian and local communities. It is estimated that through tourism, recreation, and commercial fishing, the Great Barrier Reef contributes over $5.4 billion every year and provides over 66,000 jobs to local communities and cities along the Great Barrier Reef. As a result, the economic importance, as well as the local community dependence on the Great Barrier Reef, was taken into consideration when rezoning the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. Whilst evidence of success of the marine park in terms of increased biodiversity and abundance have been shown, there is also evidence of non-compliance within the marine park. Compliance is another important aspect of protected area management that needs to be addressed for a protected area to be successful. A high number of non-compliance cases are often recorded to the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority. One particular study found that 10% of fishers studied admitted to fishing within the green zones. So improvements still need to be considered to increase voluntary compliance within the Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park is a prime example of why interdisciplinary, participatory and contextual approaches need to be taken into consideration for management of a successful protected area. However, there are still some improvements that need to be made in terms of compliance within the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park.